Hey guys, you've joined us live at Moneycontrol. I'm Manisha Gupta, and joining us on the show now is Dr. B.V. Mehta from SEA. Dr. Mehta, thank you so much for joining us. And it clearly has been a start of yet another year where we are looking at good stocks in the Indian markets for edible oil, but it is the prices which have continued to be under pressure. So whether it's about soybean or mustard, they are trading below the MSP right now. And there's a huge conversation going on about MSPs in the country right now. I want to first of all understand the MSP, the kind of prices we are looking at and availability in the Indian markets.
See, the government has raised, अब हिंदी में है ना कि इंग्लिश में जा रहा है?
This is English.
Okay. See, government has raised the MSP in the last 5 or 6 years at reasonable level. But government also must defend the MSP. Today, look at it. So, rapeseed, 5,650, now it's being traded at 5,350 or 5,400. Soybean, MS is 4,600, traded at 4,500 or 4,400. So government must defend the MSP. We support the increase the MSP so the farmer gets a better price. But same time government should defend it, and which is not happening. Now look at here. Now within next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be harvesting the bumper mustard crop. Today is already below MSP. What will happen when the full era will start in the early March? So government has to gear up all their agency and see that they purchase at the MSP price in all the mandis, not the selected mandi, so that it supports the price. That's a very, very important. Now, about your second question about the domestic price. Prices are quite comfortable to the consumer, but farmers are not happy because they are not getting the MSP. So price, unfortunately, government is not ready to raise the import duty, which is just 5.5% on soybean oil, sunflower oil, and crude palm oil. They have to raise. Unfortunately, they have decided up to 31st March 2025, they will not change the duty. See, the duty should be used as a lever. Price goes up, you reduce the duty. When price goes down, raise the import duty, so that both the consumer and the farmers are protected. Today, consumer are the happiest. They are getting the oil at the cheapest level. Per capita consumption is rising in last 6 months. If you see, per capita consumption also increased. But the farmers are suffering. The government has to balance between the farmer and consumers. Yes, madam.
Dr. Mehta, when you look at the Indian markets, what would you say is the per capita consumption of edible oil? And because of the price fall in edible oil in that market, would you say that the consumption of edible oils has increased?
Yes. First, let me tell you, the per capita consumption of India, it's 17 kg per person, all India. But there's a wide variation between the consumption. If you go to the Gujarat, 30 kg, Punjab 26 or 27 kg, Maharashtra 22, Gujarat, even Rajasthan also very high. But if you go down to the south, it is around 17 kg because South Indian food is not very oily. But if you go down to Jharkhand, Bihar or UP, consumption is much lower, about 10 kg. So that's a wide variation. This has to be balanced out here. And so far the oil consumption, India consumes about 25 million tons of edible oil. Our own production is hardly 10 million ton. Dependence is about 15 million ton. Last year we imported 16.6 million ton, and this year, earlier, from November to October, November 23 to October 24, India may be importing maybe little lesser quantity than last year because we are sitting on the stock about 2.8 million ton as on today. So we may be importing about 16 million ton or a little lesser than 16 million ton. Because first 3 months indicative, the import is quite low by 23%, but this is not a barometer. We have to wait and watch further here. Yes, madam.
Dr. Mehta, when you look at the kind of imports we've done, and you mentioned about the import duty as well, even as soybean and sunflower are at a discount right now to palm, would you say that the imports of these edible oils perhaps is higher than palm, or would you say that's a very short-term phenomena? Going forward, we'll be importing higher palm as always?
Normally, madam, sun and soya is being traded about $150 over the palm. Today, the palm is overpriced. Palm has to come down. Then only the palm will get the market. Otherwise, you can expect the larger quantity of the soft oil will come in there. next few months, yeah. But I'm sure the palm will come down. The palm has to enter this market. There's a surplus production, more production in Malaysia or Indonesia. India is the biggest market. So palm has to come down.
Mr. Mehta, going forward now, as you said, per capita consumption in India it varies quite a bit, and overall is a consumption that we are looking at very high. Do you see this kind of a demand growth in the Indian markets continue like that, with the fact that the households are using more edible oil, people are eating out, so there is more edible oil usage there as well?
Definitely, the consumption is rising, and the per capita income in the middle class is rising very fast. And middle class consumes nearly 50%. The person was earning earlier, say about 15,000, maybe before 5 or 10 years, now he's earning 30, 40,000 rupees. And his first product is food, shelter, and clothes. So naturally, when we talk of food, it's not a rice or wheat. You need an oil, you need a pulses also. So definitely he'll be spending more money on it. Second, more and more people now, urbanization, more and more people are eating out. And hotel, the waste is much higher than a home. Third, about the village also, the per capita consumption is rising in village also when their incomes are rising. So I look at even the Pakistan, our next neighbor, the per capita is 22 kg, or Bangladesh is 21 kg. We are much lower. World average is much higher. USA, if you look at the USA or Europe, they are about 50 kg per capita consumption here. And so there's a need. So there's enough. I think we need more oil to feed the populations here.
What's your sense also on prices going forward? Because as of now, when you compare it to last year, we are much on the lower side here. As you said, the new crop is coming. The prices are even below MSP at this point in time. Would you say, one, that the fine line that the government is trying to make between the farmers and consumers, has the government worked well on that? That's my part one of the question. And the second is, where do you see prices going from here?
Madam, looking to the mustard record crop, of course, we have engaged an agency. They are doing the survey and will be releasing the report shortly. But initial indication says the mustard crop will be much better. So far, weather is very conducive. There was a rain sometimes which was needed, and the temperature also conducive. So definitely, and also acreage has gone by 2.5 lakh hectares. So now we are about 100 or 10 million hectares under the mustard. So naturally, you can expect the bumper crop, maybe about 12 million, 120 lakhs or more. So definitely, availability of mustard oil will be much higher than domestic market. And that will bring a pressure on the domestic price also, on imported oil also. So definitely, and next 3 months, if you ask me, I think price will remain comfortable. The government wants that way only. The price will not go up till April or May. You know it better. So I am not seeing the price of edible oil to go up in the near future, at least 3 months. But if you look at the international scenario, maybe in the second half, international price may go up because there are various reasons. So if that happens, it will have impact on our domestic price also. The price may go up a little bit in the second half of the year.
Mr. Mehta, I'll just squeeze in one final question. And edible oil is seen as one sector which is where not too much of value addition is being done. Would you say that that's a bit of a concern from within the industry itself?
Value addition is a direct consumer product. How do you expect value addition? There's not much. Of course, like a rice bran, we are making the now original, which is most of the vitamin E capsule. That way it has happened. But a very limited value addition be taking place. Let me admit, it's a direct consumer products. So what do you expect? Good quality, good packing, and reasonable price. That is what is the consumer expect. I don't see much value addition indirectly. If you do a good packing, quality in others, that's also a value addition to a product.
Fair point that, Mr. Mehta. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, that's the view really coming in for the edible oil as a sector there. Plenty needs to be done, as he said, when it comes to the duty structure. But that, as of now, is until 2025. The expectations being that the government could tinker it by the end of this year once the elections are done. But as said, there's enough and more availability, and the prices for edible oil are not expected to hike anytime sooner.